Yeah, I mean, I would say a little bit more advanced. I mean, we definitely, with Maccabi New Zealand, dove in, did scout reports. We didn't really utilize our shoot-arounds to touch the opponent. We did that at night. But this morning, a little bit more emphasis on going through a true walkthrough, talking through personnel, game plan, walk through plays, do some breakdowns specific to Charlotte. So a little bit more of our norm as we get geared up for the start of the regular season.
Were you able to ramp things up because of the schedule, knowing that you had 2 games and then nice little section here before you go into the third?
Yeah, it was definitely unique, kind of managing those 5 days. 2 of them were off. We had 2, pretty heavy days. Saturday was actually a scrimmage, inter-squad scrimmage days. Really was appreciative of how the guys brought the effort. So a lot of playing over the last couple of days, a lot of install with some more layers to our motion, and then a couple of wrinkles to our defense, getting some adjustments built in. So I think we maximize the 5 days as much as possible. Our guys are definitely hungry, get back in playing action today.
Talk about the decision to sit Jonas into the regular season.
I think it's just big picture mentality. I mean, he's obviously had a very busy summer. We want to be proactive and trying to prevent anything long term for him. So, the general soreness, we wanted to be very cognizant of that and just being smart with, preseason games are important. He's still getting his individual work, and then he'll hopefully be ready to go, opening night.
Does this one feel different for you because this is the first time you'll face an NBA team as a head coach?
No, I try to treat every game the same, regardless of opponent, situation. It's another opportunity for me to compete and get better, and continue to get better, and trying to lead this team. So excited, no matter who we're playing.
Will there be lineup changes?
Potentially, yeah. So I'm still working on who we're going to start, but I'm definitely going to mix up some combinations tonight, and try to explore over these next 3 games.
Is it 2s, 3s? Like what sort of?
I'd say everything probably outside of the the one. Probably John, JJ are probably the constants.
With Jonas out, how does it work with your preparation, trying to get ready for the season, and getting everybody else acclimated to everybody else since he's not going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, credit to him, and he's fully involved in everything we're doing. Being observant, he's in all of our film sessions, all of our practice sessions. So guys are, I would say for the most part, playing their roles that they're going to be playing right now, and then obviously getting him back in anytime you have a guy that's, maybe not playing right now, integrating back's, a little bit of an adjustment period. But I think, he's managing it well, the team's managing it well, and then when he's ready to go, we'll all be ready to go.
For John, was there ever any consideration over the summer, like maybe we should bring him in slow, bring him off the bench at the beginning, and then let him learn the job, or did you just know from the start you're going to throw him in the fire and let him figure it out?
Yeah, I'd say there was definitely in my mind, but I had my mind pretty made up quick that I wanted to throw him into the mix, and I wanted him to learn right off the bat. He's a competitive kid, he's a smart kid, he's important to our future. We're obviously going to be smart with how we use him, especially in his rookie season. That's an adjustment for him. But it was kind of a little debate in my head and amongst ourselves not to get him out there right from the get-go.
Did you have that made up before you saw him in the gym, or was it maybe you saw the way he was passing and then you decided, okay, we need to go ahead and let him have the range from day one?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, had that intention before seeing him, but then obviously getting to see him in the gym and all that stuff, it became very clear and very evident that this was the route that we needed to go.
Did you get to know JB in San Antonio at all? James Arrego?
Yeah, he was. JB was head video coordinator. Was when I was an intern in San Antonio, and I mean, such an amazing person. Was always great to work with. Super humble, very smart, and it's been fun to watch him as his trajectory. Bouncing a couple different spots as an assistant, head coach, and now here in Charlotte. He and I have maintained a really good relationship. He's a good friend of mine, and he's definitely been a mentor. When I first came into the business, how he kind of took me under the wing and kind of guided us young fellas how to navigate the NBA landscape.
You mentioned the little debates in your head. I'm sure when you were an assistant coach, you had them in your
Sure.
head, but you didn't have necessarily the power to make those decisions. Like, how is it reassuring that now? How does it feel different now that you're having these debates in your head and you're the one making the call? Like, maybe not pressure, but just a comfort?
Sure. I mean, I'd say it's still natural, like you said. Even as an assistant, you have all these thoughts in your head, and I love my coaching staff because I want them to feel like they can have those same dialogues in their head and they can voice that in all of our meetings. So we come together as a group, and at the end of the day, it's obviously a change. I have to be the one to make the final call, but I want to make the most educated call as possible. My eyes and ears see certain things and hear certain things, and that's why I want my staff to kind of impart their thoughts as well, and then we get to ultimately the best decision possible for our team.
Taylor, as you look back on the way this roster was constructed, I mean, what's your kind of thought on the way Zach did it, and what has he kind of shown you during the course of y'all's working relationship over these last 6 months or so?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the entire process. I mean, from the get-go, before we even made our first decision on personnel, how inclusive Zach is, how he wants to have a partner in all of our decisions that we make, and being able to vet out all of the draft decisions, draft moves, free agency moves, two-way contracts, summer league, dealing everything, how we're working together lockstep. I get to hear his thoughts, he gets to hear my thoughts, and we're on the same page. You know, we ultimately want to, you know, head in the right direction, how we want to build this team, you know, the style of play that we want, you know, what are the players that fit, what's the culture that we want here. Are we going to disagree at times? Absolutely. But I think it's been great over the course of the summer how we've worked lockstep, you know, making the best decisions possible and getting this team in place.
I wouldn't call it the first like big decision about Jonas, but it's a impactful one in some degree. What was the process like for you guys for you and the coaching staff to work with front office and Jonas to actually determine how this happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was great. I would say we'd also include our performance team, you know, leaders in, you know, making sure we do what's exactly best for Jonas as we do for all of our players. So, you know, constant check-ins, you know, make sure we're checking with the player first, and then as an organization, you know, making sure how we want to manage this preseason slate, knowing that we're all mindful of a big picture approach. So everyone had that same mentality going in and working out the nitty-gritty about what exactly that plan is going to be. It was great working with Zach, Eric, myself, and coming to that final conclusion.
The plan for Jaren seems to be more, early on at least, using him more as a face-up big. He's been attacking the paint a little bit more than he was last season. You mentioned installing back-to-the-basket plays for him maybe later. Jonas, he's already more of a back-to-the-basket guy. Is it like the opposite for him? You want to get him under the rim first and then expand him, you know, out to the three, or how are you approaching the game plan for him?
Kind of both. I want him to kind of equally work on both. Maybe if there was a slight 10, I want him to get on the perimeter a little bit more. I mean, we know what Jonas can do inside, and you know, as I've talked about all along, our rim running habits with Jonas and, you know, JJ getting in, establishing deep post position, and, you know, in our pick and rolls, how we roll the post, you know, whether they're in a center field coverage or teams are switching. Like, that was a learning experience against New Zealand the other night, how we can still post, you know, off of pick and rolls. But then eventually I want to get them comfortable playing out with all that space, still attacking early in the post. And then when we get into our half call plays, is, you know, we're getting, you know, JV back acclimated soon, and JJ, you know, starting to grow out our post package as well, so we're not just this run, you know, this pass heavy offense, playing tons of pick and rolls.
Coach, with this being the last home game for the preseason, then you go on the road, and then you have obviously the regular season game in Miami. Is there anything that you need to see from them for this like home court?
I just want them to keep competing and growing. You know, regardless of the environment, it's going to be great to go on the road and kind of, you know, be, you know, kind of a bunker mentality for us. So I just want them to keep the focus on us. Obviously, we've done our preparation for Charlotte tonight, and, you know, we'll do the same, you know, OKC and San Antonio, and then obviously Miami on the road. It's about just going out and competing, you know, hold ourselves to a higher standard. That's my whole focus, is are we taking these last 5 days, what we've learned in our first 2 games, and going out and competing like we need to be? Are we playing together? And then are we truly getting better in all of the little things that we've been working on, how we're cleaning up some things defensively and offensively? That's my main focus.